gotta trust the process, player. The process. The process. Welcome to the process, player. I say you gotta trust the cue the interview. I got some shit to say. How persistence about this business really got me here today. Kicking game, this a podcast, but this here a different lane. Hit you with some hidden gems, but then it's meant to entertain.
Welcome to the process, man. With your host, cue the interview. Man, this is my first podcast, man. My first interview. I'm motherfucking nervous. But shit, I'm in here. I got a special guest today, man. He's been so inspirational to me. I've been watching him grow. He and I have been friends since middle school, 6th grade. We started off at Lake Olympia. Then we went to Quail Valley. Then we met again at Prairie View. And you know how you meet somebody that's naturally funny? Like, I know, like, social media now, you could just be funny. You could be all type, a different type of person on the internet. But then, you know, when you see that person in real life, they're not even fucking funny. But I could genuinely say this guy that I have today is genuinely funny in person. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I admire this guy. When I call him, you know, and talk to him about different things, he's always encouraging, reading books and things of that nature. And he kind of inspired me to start this podcast, The Process, because he told me his story. And when he told me his story, I was like, damn, bro, shit. Other people need to hear this story because it probably be another Mark Zuckerberg sitting on the couch right now, not knowing where the fuck to start. And I was like, but you have paved the way. And during this whole pandemic, we have learned that you got to get money in all avenues. You know, multi streams of income. Because your job can let you go at any point. So I just feel like, you know, you need to figure out what your purpose is and what your gifts is, and you need to be in that lane because that gift will pay, you know what I'm saying, put you in front of the people that you need to be. But, you know, that's on another podcast episode. But Mark, I call Mark and I talk to him about different things, and he just be so 100. You know, and I just feel like I say, man, Mark, you inspired me to start something that to put people like you on this platform so other people can see what you do. And also, you're a person that looks like me, the same age as me, and you get into it. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like you got to be my first guest. And today I want to introduce you to Mark Day.
Yeah, well, it's an honor to be on here with one of my close friends, long-term friends, Sean Molden. I think he gave me a little bit too much credit.
Nah, bro, shit. Own that motherfucker, man.
But, you know, it's been a process, you know, along the way with growth, you know, and I look at life like it's a growing experience. And most people get to a level of growth and they stunt their growth.
Come on.
And when I say they stunt their growth, when they think that they reach their true potential, they hadn't even really scratched the surface of their true potential. And true potential is something that can't be taught. It can't be bought. It's just something that's innate in you, and when you find it, it's like that glow. And I consider it. I compare it to the glow. Like, I don't know if anybody ever seen Last Dragon.
Last Dragon. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
But it's like that glow, and like, but you have to go through, you know, the tough times. And when I say the tough times, I mean, you know, the toughest of times for you to really shine. And most people don't really know what tough times feel like and how to grow from them, because tough times break people down. So I don't want to jump into it too fast, but to, I guess, revert back to, you know, our beginning. Right. Like, I met Sean when I was in middle school, I think.
Lake Olympia, Quail Valley.
Quail Valley.
Yes.
Quail Valley. And Yeah, I was always a trouble kid. I was a trouble kid. Like I stayed in trouble. I never forget. It's funny because I watched that Mike Epps show.
Yeah.
And he talked about the time that they came and got him out of his regular classes.
Okay.
And drug him to special classes.
Ooh.
And that's basically what happened to me. It was a spot on because, you know.
So you was in the all day class?
I was in the all day classes. I'm not gonna mention no names, but I got a lot of friends that I was there, you know, and mentally it was a setback. Okay. You know, mentally it is a setback, but you know, you have to get over the barriers that people put in front of you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because yes, they label you different things, but that doesn't mean that that's what you are.
Right on.
And I had a behavioral problem. I still have a behavioral problem.
Me too.
So, you know, but, you know, to channel that energy in a positive way is what I had to learn how to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I channeled that energy in a way that disrupts corporate America. Gotcha. You know, and I do things that's out of the norm of what they do. Okay. And that's yeah, so that's when you become a headache. But when people understand the positive aspect and the knowledge and trying to figure out things that other people can't figure out was a gift and a curse. Okay. Because like growing up through school when I first met you and, you know, all throughout my middle school, high school years, and even partly into college, because I didn't even really want to go to college. Like, you know, that was just something my parents said we were supposed to do. Okay. So throughout those years, like, I had to figure out how to channel my energy. And it would come out in the best of ways or the worst of ways. And I had to, you know, figure out like how to make everything that I do positive.
That's crazy that you see me say that, man, because like you said, you was a troubled kid and shit, I was on Ridley.
Yeah. You and me both.
My mama put me on Ridley, man. I was like, shit, how you gonna put me on Ridley and I'm finna go to PE? That's my favorite. How the fuck you gonna do that shit, mama? But hey, it is what it is. So I end up meeting Mark again in Prairie View. And it's so crazy that I met Mark at Prairie View and we were just chilling one day in the dormitories and he had got a new aquarium. And I say, man, Mark, we ain't supposed to have pets in the dorm room. He said, man, fuck that. He had a new fish. He said, I spent a lot of money on this fish and the fish died. And I said, where the fish at? He said, man, I got it in the freezer. I said, you got it in the freezer? I say, shit, what you gonna do with it? I'm gonna take that motherfucker back. I mean, if I take a dead fish back, he said, I mean, I paid too much money for it. I'm gonna take it back. So how did that turn out? What did you end up doing?
I probably end up taking it back.
Okay. So along the road, he told me, he said, man, Q, I started a aquarium business. I say, for real? He like, yeah. So I would see Mark at PV, Prairie View, and A&M University, where we produce productive people. He'll be in and out. You know, I went on with my life, and he went on with his, but I rarely seen him. What were you doing at the time?
When I started that aquarium business, I had a close friend of mine that actually went to PV with me. And prior to the aquarium business, it was the same year, same freshman year.
02.
02. I went to my friend and I was like, hey, you know, we were roommates at the time. And I was like, the first thing that we did, I was like, hey, we need to start selling hot dogs and hamburgers because we got this place called Williams Chicken and it's too far for us to walk.
Right.
And so we started selling hot dogs and hamburgers. And my friend was like, he was like, nobody gonna buy no hot dogs and hamburgers from us.
Nah.
And because we staying in the dorm room, UC.
Yeah.
And I cooked them for the first night on the George Foreman grill that we put in between the bathroom. And nobody came. Nobody came for the first night.
Trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process. So nobody came for the first night. Second night, what I did was I put a sign on the door on the outside, and I was like, we're gonna put $1 hamburgers, 2 hot dogs for $1. So he was like, okay, he's still doing his work, and I'm making hot dogs and hamburgers. I opened up the door to let the smell go out in the hallway.
Right.
And so the smell go out in the hallway, and we get one customer that night.
Come on.
All right, and in the next night we started, I did it again. We only made $1 the first night.
Well, fuck it.
Yeah.
Never give up.
Yeah. So the next night we made, I started cooking. We got a knock on the door as soon as I made my first hamburger. Like, let me get one of those hamburgers, and I sold him the hamburger. And he ain't get up off the bed. He's still doing his work. I'm doing my hamburgers.
You and a motherfucker believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get another knock on the door. And I served them 2 hot dogs.
Okay.
Get another knock on the door. About 15 minutes later, he got up off of his bed.
What you got going?
Yeah, he got up off of his bed and was like, I'm going to help you make these hamburgers.
Oh, yeah. Now you're a believer.
Yeah. So, within, I say a week's time period, we had the whole campus going. And at the end of that little session, we end up going to Christmas break. In Christmas break, they took our George Foreman grill and they kicked us out of the college, out of the UC college. They said we could not come back because we were cooking and it was against the rules.
For real?
Yeah. So we ended up getting kicked out, me and him.
Damn.
And I was like, and he was like, man, what we gonna do now? And I was like, oh, well, we gonna put up Christmas lights.
Okay.
And he was like, Christmas lights? Nobody's going to do Christmas lights. What are you talking about?
He said, 02? We were about 19?
02. Yeah, we were 18, 19.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, we're going to put up Christmas lights. And he was like, what do you mean Christmas lights? And I was like, Christmas lights. We're going to hang Christmas lights for people and go out in Missouri City, Sugar Land area and pass out, and pass out cards. The first year that we did Christmas lights, which we were freshmen at the time, we made over $5,000. As freshmen, putting out Christmas lights in this area. No one was doing it at that time. You see Christmas lights all over now.
Nobody was doing it.
Nobody was doing it.
Josephine and Johnny and Hot Ball Run.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. So nobody was doing it. And then, it turned into a mainstream business. Like all of the big companies throughout the Houston area, after about the 3rd or 4th year that we were doing it, saw that this was an actual service that they can make money from.
Right.
And everyone started putting out Christmas lights. And that's when you start seeing Christmas lights all throughout the city of Houston area because people weren't doing it because they didn't want to. So we put up Christmas lights, and at the end of us putting up Christmas lights for that Christmas season, we both had to find jobs.
Wow.
And I asked him, I was like, what are you going to do? And he was like, man, I'm going to go fill out a job. They got a job application, a job position at HEB. And he was like, what are you going to do? I was like, man, the only thing I know how to do is fish. Besides Christmas lights, I didn't even really know how to do Christmas lights at the time, but we figured it out. And I started working at a company in Missouri City, and I worked in the pet department. They hired me that night that I told my friend that we were going to go and fill out these job applications. I went into a place and I saw it open. He was like, just go in there and fill out the job application. So I went in there and filled out the job application, and they was like, what is this fish? What is this fish? What is this fish? I always loved fish throughout school, so I named them all. They gave me the job. I got the job that night. And and that night, they was like, you start tomorrow. I went in there the next day, and it was in a prestigious area of Missouri City. So, Lake, I can say the name. Yeah. Lake Olympia, Sienna Plantation or whatnot. And they weren't selling any aquariums. They weren't selling any fish, really. The fish department was slacking. And I asked myself, I was like, why is the fish department slacking over here? Like, everything else, the dogs are making thousands of dollars a day. Everything else is making money, but fish is not making anything.
Right.
And I thought about it, and I was like, these people want to buy fish because I see them come over here to my section, but they don't know how to take care of the fish.
Gotcha.
They don't know how to set up the aquariums. They don't know how to do these things.
Right.
And that same entrepreneur spirit that I had, I was like, I went to my boss and I was like, hey, look, I'll set up my own business outside of y'all business, and I'll help y'all sell these aquariums that y'all can't sell.
Right.
And I'll help y'all sell the fish that y'all don't know how to sell. Right. And I'll do this. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I put my business cards on at the front desk.
At your job?
At my job. I put my business cards at the front desk at my job. And they started selling fish like crazy. They started selling aquariums like crazy. I told them I'll come out and set it up. And I did my own marketing campaign outside of my job where I had signs all over the city.
So this is your introduction to marketing.
Exactly.
Okay.
This was my introduction to marketing.
Gotcha.
And you know, luckily, blissfully, like I met great people along the way.
Okay.
And you know, I didn't have a lot of money back then, you know, and
you had $5,000?
yeah, no, that money was gone. But no, I didn't have a lot of money back then, and I had good people throughout the city of Missouri City that we grew up in that would help. Okay. And one guy that I went to, he's still an inspiration to me now. Mm-hmm. He did this logo. Okay. And everybody else, like companies from all over the country, asked me to do this logo, and I was like, no. Nah. This is like near and dear to me because he's no longer with us anymore. Okay, R.I.P. And yeah, and so I was like, you know, I went to him and I was like, hey, look, I only got this.
That's all I got.
Yeah, this is all I got. I just got this. So he worked with me and he was like, man, I'm going to do you the best thing that I do. And he did an excellent job with the marketing. And I learned marketing on my own. Like, I never went to marketing class. In PV. I went to school for business, but I never went to marketing class. I didn't make it that far.
Damn.
Yeah. I didn't make it to marketing 101.
You didn't make it?
No, I didn't make it to marketing 101. But I learned marketing like in the streets, and I watched other companies and how they marketed themselves. Okay. And I tried to replicate that to the best of my ability. And then I was like, I can market better than you. Right. And I don't understand why you get paid six figures to market and I don't even understand your commercials. Gotcha. Like, you know, so I went to him and I had a lot of help, and that was the introduction that I had to marketing. That was the introduction that I had to business. Yeah. You have to have a business mind when you go into business. Okay. And when I say that, and I say that in the sense of it being innate to you. It's not something that you can learn. You can't learn the struggles, the trials, and the tribulations that you're going to go through throughout life. Okay. You know, these are things that have to be innate, like a basketball player. Like, I don't care how many times I go out on the basketball court, I'm never going to be a great basketball player. You know, I can learn to get better, but I'm never going to be great. Right. Talk your shit. You know, so, like, this is something that I knew how to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It didn't matter what arena that I was in, business was my end-all, be-all. Right. You know, it's the drive. It's just what you know. And when you figure out what you know it, and you go after it, and you're going to become more successful than anybody else in that arena.
So you say this is your gift?
Yeah, it's just a gift. It's just a gift. I don't have to work for it. Like, I never learned math. Like, I'm not going to even lie. I had a professor, and he tried to teach me math. He still tried to teach me math. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to learn math. I'll hire somebody that knows math. Right on. You know, but I'm going to perfect my gift. And anything else that I'm not good at, I'm going to go find somebody else that's good at. Gotcha. So, you know, we started this company, and the aquarium business took off. Like, it took off, but it didn't really take off, but it took off. Like, everybody knew me as the aquarium guy. Right. And they called me, hey, the aquarium guy, the aquarium guy, the aquarium guy. And I couldn't get the title off. It was like Mike Epps and what's the movie? Friday. Day. He can't get that name off. Like, right. I couldn't get the name of aquarium guy off.
I feel like it was really dope, man, because when you told me, like, I'm doing aquariums, I was like, damn, I don't know nobody else doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it was so mind-blowing. I'm still in school, having a good-ass time, and you over here baking bukus of bread. or whatever kind of bread you making. So I really feel like that was really dope for you to do. And so we did the aquarium thing, and then the next thing I hear, I say, I wonder what Mark's doing. And he say, man, he's doing roofs. I say, he doing roofs? I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, man, he messing with customs right now to get a roof shipped over here. I say like a roof on the house. Like my dad is a carpenter. You know what I'm saying? So I built roofs, like put shingles on, the whole nine. I said, how the hell he's getting a roof shipped from over wherever to Houston to put on somebody's house? Can you talk about that?
I want to know how you knew about that.
Hey man, I got my resources, man. You know, I know people that know people. You know what I'm saying? So hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, all right.
But no, it's true, man. It's crazy. He threw me off. Yeah. Well, I was doing one thing always leads to another.
Okay.
So I was in Sienna Plantation, and I was doing aquariums, and one of my customers was like, "Hey, well, we got a customer, high-end customer, like he played for the our sports team. Our sports team. He played for our sports team, and he was like, he got an aquarium, but he want to know, like, you know, it's Christmas light, guys, and I heard you did Christmas light. Can you do his Christmas lights?" And I was like, yeah, I can do his Christmas lights. And this is going alongside the aquarium thing.
Right.
And I end up doing his aquarium, and then I put up his Christmas lights, and his roof was completely dirty. It was a tile roof. Mm-hmm. And tile roofs in Texas is not really tile. It's concrete. It's a concrete company that manufactures the concrete right here in Houston, and they make it look like Spanish tile.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so it looks like Spanish tile, and I did this business for a while, and like the more I did, he was the first customer, NFL player, that I cleaned his roof. I was like, "Hey, you need your roof cleaned." He was like, "Do it." And yeah, and I did it, and his neighbor was like, "Man, I need you to do my roof too." And I did his roof.
Okay.
And it just, the word spread throughout the area, and I was like, this can be a real business too.
Now you're a roof man.
And now I'm a roof cleaning man.
Gotcha.
I'm a roof cleaning man because it's a lot of roofers, but nobody was cleaning roofs.
Okay.
So
never thought of that.
Yeah. So I was like, I can clean all of these roofs out here.
Yeah,
So I started cleaning roofs and was the first roof cleaning company in Missouri City. Wait, now, and I say in Missouri City. In Missouri City, the first roof cleaning company, but in Texas, I was the third roof cleaning company in Texas to actually go out and clean roofs. And the other companies that went out and cleaned roofs, they call them composition, which is shingle roofs, the average roof.
Right.
Well, I was the first company to go out and actually start cleaning tile roofs, because tile roofs is a business that never really existed because of the company that manufactured concrete roofs.
Gotcha.
Like clay roofs, the original Spanish, Italian roofs, they don't have to be cleaned.
Oh.
But the replication of a tile roof needs to be cleaned, just like you go out and pressure wash your driveway. It has to be cleaned.
Right.
And I was the first company to go out and start doing that.
So you like a Texas legend?
No.
Yes.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You found the Christmas lights and cleaned the fucking roof.
Yeah. Well, I ain't gonna give myself that much credit.
Right.
But at the same time, like the first company to go out and do that. And, you know, as I went out and I did that, the business grew. It blew. I thought the aquarium business blew. I thought the Christmas lights blew. But the roof cleaning business took off like no other. Like, I had one point, and I'm going to throw out a dollar sign. I had one point where we made $5,000 a day cleaning rooftops, easy. And we did that on a consistent basis until it became a thing.
For somebody else.
Yeah. It became, no, you can't patent cleaning something.
You can't.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, it became a thing. And the way I found my help, Like I would go out and find guys at Home Depot, and I would train them how to clean these roofs.
Okay.
And they would go out and they did it, and the word spread just like the Christmas lights spread. And you know, they started their own thing, and they was like, "We clean roofs too. We clean roofs too. We did it."
For my dog.
Yeah.
I
So
feel like they stealing from my dog.
yeah. So it just trickled down.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So
So when you I knew about this, and then I see you with the day urinals. I was like, man, what the fuck more got going on right fucking man? Hey, he just be doing so much stuff. So I called you, and I was like, man, you know, you doing so much things, so many things, and it's like, I need to get in this lane, man, because you know I work 12 hours a day. I'm doing this. It's like going around a Monopoly table the whole time and only collecting $200. So I'm like, that's not the answer. But my partner, he really is. What's the word? I don't even know the word, but he's like, he's thinking ahead of his time. Like in '02, he talking about selling hamburgers. I'm out here talking about Hot Boy Ronald, Josephine Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Now that I got older, I'm working 12-hour days, making a good amount of money. But he's up here creating jobs for his future family, for himself, and having generational wealth. So I called Marcus, like, Mark, what are you doing? And he told me about day urinals. I say, man, what the fuck is that? Goddamn day urinals. How the fuck you even come up with that shit? So can you talk about how you know, started day urinals?
I started day Urinal Mats, man. Quite frank, like I went out to bars a lot. Like I like to go out and drink. I like to go out and have a good time.
Right.
And one of my biggest pet peeves was to go out to a bar and a restaurant or wherever I went and go to the restroom and I'm looking decent, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I say I'm looking decent.
Okay.
And yeah, no, I'm not that fly. I've never been that dressy, but I'm looking decent. I don't want to go out. I don't want to walk out of the bathroom.
Stepping piss.
Yes, exactly. I don't want to walk out of the bathroom with the toilet tissue on my shoes.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. So I walk in the bathroom and I'm like, hey, like, man, like every bathroom that I went to, like it's urine all over the floor in the bathroom. Like it's just a constant problem. Like we got to do something about this problem. And I made it my priority for a while of doing something about it. And it was just like, I know what I see another issue. Like I see another problem. Every situation I've been through, I've seen an issue.
Okay.
Like I saw the issue with the aquariums. I saw the issue with the lights. I saw the issue where we didn't have any food on campus. Like I saw issues.
Right.
You know, and I saw issue with the fact that everybody stepping in everybody else's urine. Like it was just a problem. And I'm like, how can we fix this issue? What is the problem? So I went to business owners and I knew all of them. Like I constantly went out and I knew all of them. And I was like, you know, why don't y'all have like a mat on the floor that contains this problem? And everyone gave me the same answer. They was like, the mats that's in the market doesn't work. Like they just like store urine. Like people urinate on them and it's urine on the floor. The bathroom stinks because of the mat. Right. You know, whatever. And they're all carpet mats. They're absorbent mats and they say they last a certain amount of time, which they don't. Like, there's no way that you can urinate on a mat for 4 months or for 4 to 6 weeks and that mat is gonna still smell fresh. Like, there's no way it's gonna happen. That's like urinating a baby diaper and that baby diaper lasts for 6 months. Like, it doesn't happen. So I was like, okay, what is the solution to this problem? And I didn't know what it was, so I pondered on it for a while, and I let it go. Like everybody else let problems go.
He pondered on it.
Yeah, I had to ponder on it. Did I say ponder? I did say ponder. Yeah, I pondered. That's, you know. But anyway, I pondered on it for a while, and I let it go. Like, and I was like, you know, and one day I went into my favorite bar. Off of Westheimer.
Westheimer.
Off of Westheimer.
It's so far.
Yeah. And I found a mat. This is what you know the bar mats that they sit your drinks on when they're making your drinks.
Yeah.
I walk in the bathroom, I use the restroom, and I walk back out, and they pour me up another drink, and he spilled it. He went overboard with my drink, and the drink went over. And the mats that they have on the bar actually have like grids in them, so anything that go over goes within that grid.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, why haven't nobody thought of that for the bathroom?
Right.
And I was like, man, can I have that? Can I have that mat that you got right there?
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, I guess. What you gonna do with it? I was like, don't worry about it.
Weirdo.
Yeah, I know, weirdo. I was a weirdo, but I was in a weird bar, so I fit in.
Cool.
And
what, you was in Coyote?
no, it was worse than that. Like, I'm not gonna name the bar.
Don't name the bar.
Yeah, I'm not gonna name the bar, but it was way worse. It was a dive bar.
Okay, gotcha.
And he gave me the mat, and I came up with the idea that night.
Come on.
2015, 2015, I came up with the idea that night. I was like, we're going to do it like this. And I went to a patent lawyer.
Okay.
And the patent lawyer was a woman.
Okay.
And the next day, she was like, I love it. Most honest patent lawyer ever. She's like, I love it, but I don't think you're going to get a patent on this. And I was like, well, why don't you think I'm going to?
What's a patent lawyer?
A patent lawyer is a lawyer that specializes in patents. You have all types of lawyers. You have legal lawyers, you have defense lawyers, you have litigation lawyers, you have patent lawyers, you have business lawyers. Okay. It's a lot of different lawyers.
Oh, gotcha.
And they all specialize in certain things.
Gotcha.
And the patent lawyers specialize in patents. Like, they know if you're going to be able, like a defense attorney would know your chances of winning a criminal case. Yeah. A patent lawyer knows your chances of being able to get a patent.
Gotcha.
And I went to her, and she told me, she was like, I don't think you're going to be able to get a patent on this. And I was like, why? And she was like, well, it's simply because the product has no viability. That's the word that she used, viability. And I was like, viability, what do you mean? And she was like, well, a viable product is a product that can be used in society.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I think this can be used in society. And I was like, why don't you think I'm going to be able to get a product that's going to be able, why don't you think this product is going to be able to, be used in society? And she was like, well, because there's nothing out there like it.
Good.
Yeah, well, you would say it's good,
right.
But a patent lawyer would say it's bad.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, so she said, hey, look, it's not going to be, something that people would use.
Wasting your time.
Yeah, you're wasting your time. And guess what I did? 2015 to 2019.
Damn, 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. I was like, she told me this is a patent lawyer. I'm going off of the experts.
Right.
And
the know-it-alls.
Yeah, the know-it-alls.
College students.
Yes, exactly.
We ain't even in college no more.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We got kicked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
So, like, I went off of what she said.
Right.
And it was a honing. I call it a honing.
Okay.
A honing. Because no matter what I did, like, I went out throughout that 4 years, like, I was going to open up restaurants. I was going to do this and going to do that and do that.
You kept pushing.
But at the same time, it was
on you.
On me. It was like a spirit
Come on.
on me. Like, I couldn't let it go.
Okay.
I couldn't let it go. And after 4 years, and I was like, and these are the things that people don't realize. These are their gifts. These are the things that's sent from God.
Come on, man.
You know, like when he puts something on you to do, whether it's your show,
right?
Whether, it's the production guys,
come on.
That's what he does. Like, you have to follow your dreams because people not going to understand your dreams. The world's not going to understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
But they will when you manifest that dream and you manifest what you have with inside. So I was like, I went back to her and I was like, you know, we're gonna do this. And she was like, she advised me not to, and she get paid for this. You know, patent lawyer. She getting paid regardless of whether we get it or not.
Right.
So I was like, you know what, we're gonna run this patent. I was like, I'm putting everything that I have into it. Everything that I have and stuff that I don't have. So I went to my father-in-law, I went to other people, I went to everybody, and I was like, you know what, I know this is gonna work.
Right.
And it's funny, when people see the passion that you have behind something, they get behind you. They don't care if they don't understand.
Right.
They're gonna get behind what you're doing. So we were able to generate upwards to $250,000.
Oh, you the man.
Yeah, to get this thing started.
Okay.
And she was like, my patent lawyer is still at the same time looking out for my best interests.
Nah.
And she like, I don't think you should. I was like, look, you do whatever you have to do. Yeah, you have to just do what I'm telling you to do, because I got a higher power telling me to do what I'm doing, what I'm doing.
Why do you do it?
Yeah, and she was like, I don't think you're going to get the patent. I was like, I know we're going to get the patent.
Come on.
And it's funny because September of 2019, she called me and she was like, I have one question for you. How did you know we were going to get that patent? Wow. And I was like, I knew we were going to get that patent because it came from a higher power. I was already told that we was going to get it from somebody else.
Wow. I didn't even know you was on that type of spiritual level. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't till right now, I didn't even know. So I've been over here cussing, but I'm really on. I'm on there with you on. So yeah. I understand. So keep on.
Yeah. So I mean, but you know, it's not about that. It's just about, like, I mean, we know what we know, and if you have like the faith that we all should have. Like, you don't have nothing to worry about. No matter how bad it get, you know it's gonna get better. Yeah. And like, I didn't know that the patent was gonna go through, right, but I knew that something told me to pursue the patent going through. Gotcha. And even if it didn't go through, I told myself, I was like, right, God, I was like, my God told me it was gonna be okay. It was gonna be okay regardless.
Right.
It was gonna be okay regardless. So when that happened and it went through, she was like, are you not surprised?
Come on.
And I was like, no, I'm not. Okay. I'm not really surprised. I wasn't really surprised. I couldn't have that surprised aspect because I knew that even if it went through, even if it didn't go through, it was gonna be okay. Okay, because I reached out to, and you're not gonna believe it, my wife is gonna believe it, but you're not. I started calling other countries. I researched the #1 mat manufacturer in the world, the #1 rubber mat manufacturer in the world.
Why you didn't look into the
United States? Well, I didn't look into the United States because we were going through some things, and I needed to find the most viable resource. Okay. For what I was trying to do. And I knew it wasn't going to be in the United States. And I'm sorry for the people that think that it wasn't going to be in the United States.
Was anybody in the United States working with you?
No, not at all. I didn't know anybody in the United States. I didn't know anybody around the world.
So you got this mat made from someone overseas that you
did not know. I never met him. I never met him. I called several companies on the phone from India, and I never met these people. Oh. And I was like,
How was that like that communication?
The communication was better than you thought.
I'm gonna say you from Mo City.
Yeah.
A Black American.
Yeah.
From PV, Mo City, but you talking to somebody out of the country. Not saying that's not doable, but it's not realistic.
I know it's not realistic, but it depends on your definition of realistic. It's not realistic. And like, my wife was like, what are you doing? Like, what you're doing is not realistic.
Right.
And like, I'm up at the time that everybody is asleep. Mm-hmm. So India, is basically 2 hours behind us, but on a totally different scale. 1 o'clock in the morning for us is 3 o'clock in the evening for them. So I got on the phone and I bought a calling card.
Wow.
I bought a calling card, a global calling card, and I started calling companies from all over the world.
How do you even think about that?
Think about calling card? Yeah. Well, I thought about a calling card because I was like, I can't dial out on a regular line. I can't dial out on the regular line.
Maybe I'm tripping though. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. I didn't think about that shit.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't dial out on my cell phone and call India. Right. I was like, I gotta buy a calling card. So I bought a calling card and I bought a calling service, and I was like, I'm just gonna start calling people. And I started calling people in the middle of the night. Everybody thought I was crazy. I did it for 6 weeks.
Wow.
I was just calling people in the middle of the night, all night, just calling people. And finally, I found like 2 companies that spoke English and they knew what I was saying, what I was trying to do and what I was saying. And they were like, yeah, we'll do business with you, blah, blah, blah. And the first company that I actually ran into, they was like, hey, look, we're doing an international mat expo, and it's going to be in Atlanta.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. And I was like, it's in Atlanta? And he was like, can you meet me there? And like, I didn't fly anywhere. I hadn't been anywhere in years. Like, I'm from Houston, We don't go anywhere in Houston. I don't know if you ain't know. But so he was like, can you meet me in Atlanta? I was like, sure I can. Yeah. And like,
tomorrow.
Yeah. So I literally flew out to Atlanta with one of my friends, and I met him there, and like I asked my patent lawyer, this is not her job, but I asked my patent lawyer, and I was like, what should I take out there? And she was like, do you have an NDA? And I was like, an NDA, what's that? And she was like, NDA is an agreement saying like whatever you give to them is confidential, blah, 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 blah. And you can't share with anybody. And I was like, no. Can you draw it up for me? She was like, that's not what I do. I'm not that type of lawyer. Yeah. And then I was like, I need you to be that type of lawyer for me right now. And she was like, Mark, I'll do it for you because I see your passion behind what you're doing.
That's solid.
Yeah. So she drew up an NDA, and this is not her job. She drew it up. I took it out there, and I flew out there with my friend, and we signed it. And like, this is all on a whim. And he signed it. And that night that he signed that, he saw a urinal mat. This is a guy that manufactures globally. Mm-hmm. He manufactures for every continent in the world, and he had never heard of a urinal mat.
Wow.
And other companies had heard of urinal mats, but they didn't have the foresight to see what I was trying to do. Right. So when he saw that urinal mat, he got 100% behind what I was doing because he had never seen this. And
I'm telling you, dog, Christmas lights, hamburgers, Christmas lights, and what is we say, aquariums. Now I'm telling you, you are the man.
Yeah, I was trying. If
I'm tripping, dog, let me know if I'm tripping, dog.
No, I mean, I don't paint myself with that brush at all. Like, let me tell you what I do. Like, I because the things in society that we see right now are simple. And like, and right now, I go off of, I listen to this every day. I listen to Zig Ziglar. Right. I listen to Earl Nightingale. I listen to Napoleon Hill. And right now, in the society that we live in, we really have no competition. If there's no competition. Globally, we don't have competition. And when I say globally, we don't have competition because a basketball player, hardest time to become an NBA star is before he becomes an NBA star.
Right on.
And then most of them relax. And Kobe Bryant said this in one of his interviews. They relax because after they become an NBA star, they don't push themselves like they would to the next level because they already think that they've gained success. Gotcha. And that's the same thing that corporate America does. And that's the same reason why it's the evolution of business is so slow.
Got you.
It takes forever for things to come out when in actuality, new things should be coming out every day. And it shouldn't even amaze people because people have thought of these things.
Got
You see what I'm saying? But the problem with society today is no one actually acts on those things.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Talk your shit.
Like everybody has ideas constantly every day, and every day those are $1 million ideas.
Right.
But they don't act on them because society dumbs people down to what society should be, what they feel like society should be. And if everybody constantly pushed one another to that next level, do you know what society would look like?
Wow.
That's basically all it means.
Got you. So, how was the interaction when you met the guy from in Atlanta, the Indian guy? How was the interaction?
He was like, it's always surprising. I mean, yeah, exactly. It's always surprising. But when he saw me, he was like, man, he was like, this guy looks like me. We look the same.
Oh,
because he's from South India. In South India, their color is just like ours.
So what North India?
North India is lighter.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yes. Okay. Well, then look at our continent.
Gotcha.
Look at our continent. Everything south is darker. Everything north is lighter.
Oh, you put me on game.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about your match. Tell me, what is it? What
Okay.
It look like?
Well, the idea, the general concept of a mat was they were to manufacture a mat, and the mat was a disposable mat. Every mat in the industry right now is disposable. Yeah. You have to throw the whole thing away. Right. It's a piece of plastic. It doesn't stay in place. Mm-hmm. It's not. It just doesn't make sense. And I'm not shunning anyone's product, but I'm just gonna make sure that everybody knows that it doesn't make sense.
Right.
I thought long and hard about it. It didn't take me that long to think about a mat that made sense. And I just want to throw that out there. I'm not trying to make anybody feel stupid. But to come out with a mat that you didn't have to throw away the whole mat, because every morning people don't throw away their doormats. True. You know, how can you come up with a mat that you can dispose of the waste, but at the same time keep the mat in place? That was the whole idea of the mat. And you want a heavy duty mat, it has to be a 2-piece mat.
Right. And
so the 2-piece mat we came up with was a grill.
Gotcha.
Like a grill, George Foreman grill. And I was like, well, we're gonna manufacture the mat the way that this is. And he was like, well, how are you going to get that pad manufactured? Because nobody manufactures pads. We don't manufacture pads. And how are you going to come up with a pad that doesn't seep through? So I reached out the same way I reached out to my mat manufacturer. I reached out to China. China.
Well, you global.
And I was like, I told them what I wanted to do. It took me about 4 months for them to be able to come up with a prototype. I reached out from everyone from the meat packing company that you put your, that you buy your meat in and it absorbs the liquid, to oil absorption companies.
Okay.
And one company, I told them, I was like, I don't know what your budget is, but this product is going to change the world. Wow. And they was like, no. And I was like, it's going to change the world. You have to have faith in something that's new. And this was during the COVID situation.
2020.
Yeah, no. This was 2019. COVID hit China in 2019.
It did. You're right.
Yeah. So this was during that. And I was like, y'all market is about to crash. And I knew the market was going to crash there.
You ahead of your time, bro.
And they was like, and I was like, when y'all market crash, this is going to be the only product selling. Only thing that's going to be selling is sanitation and pre-COVID situations, because I knew that COVID wasn't going to stay in China because we live in a global society. Wow. And they was like, And someone in that company, her name is Yvonne. And yeah, in China. Yeah, I know. But her name is Yvonne. And she was like, she said she had the foresight to see what I was telling her. And she was like, how much money do you want to put behind this? And I was like, well, I don't really have any money to put behind it like that. But I need you to understand what we're doing because our product is about to change the world, and the everything global is about to change, and this is going to be the evolution of a new industry that never existed globally. My mat manufacturer saw it back in 2019 early. She saw it around 2019 November. Wow. So I put them two together. They never met each other. I kept them, separate. But but we worked on this, and 3 months into it, she developed the pad, which no one has this pad in the world. This is something that we developed ourselves and patented ourselves. But you can't patent a pad. Right. So I got with my patent attorney, and I told my patent attorney. Okay, gotcha. And I told her, I was like, we can't patent this pad. And I went home, and she was like, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know how we're going to protect, because we can protect the mat, but we can't protect the pad, and the pad is where the money is because they buy these pads all the time. Right. And I went home, and I thought about it back and forth, and I was like, why do we have to protect the pad when we can protect the design? The design, the way it's shaped, the way it looks, right. The way it. So. Well, you so deep. Yeah. So deep. So we got a design patent on the way that this pad is no other pad that's shaped like this. Okay. That has this particular shape. Wow. It's not about the way it works. It's about the shape of it. Okay. So basically, the utility patent that we have on this mat protects the design patent that we have on the pads. Gotcha. And we took this to a few companies. They didn't really believe in what we were doing. They didn't see the vision. They didn't see the vision. And I saw the vision, so I kept pushing forward. Right. I kept pushing forward. Because you got to push forward through what other people don't see. Earl Nightingale. And, yes. Zig Ziglar. Yeah. Earl. Yeah. Brown. Yes. Every morning. Every morning. Every morning. Every morning. Every morning. I've been on it. I was on those books before you and I talked, but then I fell off, and you and I supposed to been did this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had. Yeah. You told me, you say, I'm ready whenever you're ready. I was like, man, I've been bullshitting. He said, you need to get back on it. I'm on that Zig Ziglar, Earl Nightingale, Les Brown, and some more books. Mm-hmm. Claude Anderson. Mm-hmm. And I said, you're right, bro. I thank you for you checking me the way you did because I needed to be checked. Even that Denzel Washington YouTube thing. Yeah. I needed everything that you did that day was right on time because I have a passion, but I haven't been able to do it. Mm-hmm. But your checks was like, bro, what the fuck you doing? Yeah. So it kept pushing me. Checks and balances, man. Right. We have to have those because I have to have them. Right. And I have to, everybody, we all fall off. And you got people that go to church. Right. And they lose. I'm not gonna say they lose their spirituality, but straddling the fence. Yes, it's hard. Right. It's hard. It's like going to the gym every day. Like if you skip that gym exercise, it's gonna be so much easier for you to skip that next one. Right. So you got the man, you got everything going on. I have a good friend of mine that has a business, and that person tells me that she struggles to learn how to know how to pay herself. How do you pay yourself with your mat business? How do you orchestrate that? I don't. You don't? I don't pay myself. Damn, I needed something good to be like, man, I told you I'm gonna figure it out for you, homie. No, I don't pay myself. I don't know when I made money. And that's a problem with most business people is they feel like as soon as they brought cash in, that's theirs. Like that's not your money. Right. That's your business money.
Okay.
And
so how you separate the two? Because you're an entrepreneur and you have a lovely family, a wife and twin boys, so you have to pay yourself. No.
Let me tell you the secret to my success. The secret to my success is my family.
Okay.
Because my wife is completely 100% supportive.
Okay.
To what I do.
Okay.
And this is gonna like stream off topic, but most business people, and I'm not just business people, most people in general don't understand the structure of a family.
Okay.
A structure of a family is not only your strength that you bring into that family, but the support that comes from that family.
Okay.
And my wife has been the most supportive person in every endeavor that I've ever been into, that she made me feel like I can like accomplish any dream that I've ever aspired to have.
Come on.
And so like Fortune 500 companies try to break you.
Okay.
Based off of what they think that they know about you.
Okay.
And my wife has been that backbone to everything that I've done to break what they thought they knew that I needed.
Gotcha.
Now the world has made people feel like they need certain things. They make you feel like you need these type of shoes. They make you feel like I come in here like I'm just me.
Okay.
So I don't need those things. That's not what I need.
Gotcha.
But I do have necessities, and everybody does.
Gotcha.
And my wife has been the backbone behind my business that support my necessities. And you have all of these athletes and celebrities that, everybody shun every time, something arises, and they like, well, she wasn't there. You made this. That's not my situation. My wife, if anything ever happened between me and my wife and my relationship, she deserves half.
Okay.
And I'll give her that.
We not even speaking into existence.
Yeah, I'm just saying. No, we're not going to speak that into existence. But I'm just saying, and this is what the strength is built behind a healthy family and a healthy business. Because if you don't have a healthy family, it's really difficult to have a healthy business.
Okay. So with this business right here, you learn marketing with the other entrepreneurships you had. What was the biggest struggle that you had with day owners? The biggest one.
The biggest struggle that I had, and I still have?
Yes.
Okay, is really believing that what I'm doing is possible. Really believing what I'm doing is possible.
Okay.
I've seen what I've done so far.
Okay.
And it's amazing. It amazes me.
Gotcha.
And the only thing that motivates me is the fact that I can't believe that I got this far.
Gotcha.
But my aspirations and my dreams, I was flying back from Germany on a mat expo that my mat manufacturer, he was like, yeah, we need you to come out here and blah, blah, blah. And I did it. And it amazed me. The fact that I was able to accomplish so much.
Gotcha.
Just based off of faith.
Okay.
And that's what it boiled down to, was faith. The biggest struggle that anyone has in business is faith. Gotcha. It's keeping that faith, and you have to keep that, because if you lose your faith, you lose everything.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So all right, so we have there you and what do you want to say to the people who may watch this? You have the 10 seconds to tell people about your business, why they should subscribe or try to purchase a mat. What would you say to them?
Try the competitors' mats.
So, who is the number one mat person in Urinal Mats in the United States of America or in the world?
Well, I can't say their name.
Okay, don't say no name. Okay.
But I'm just gonna say it's two. It's two leading facilitators that facilitate all. I would say 80% of business in the United States, and they're the only competitors, and they're really not competitors to me.
Okay.
So we don't have any competition.
So where are your mates go globally? You in the United States and anywhere else?
United States, India, China, Australia, Canada, and the United Kingdom, and we're coming to Africa.
Damn, boy, that's from Mo City.
From Missouri City.
From Missouri City. Hey, man. Hey, well, I want to say thank you for coming and being my first guest, man. You had to be my first guest. I'm fucking with you. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for coming on the process and talking about the process of your life, your life, considering entrepreneurship, and also the Urinals. So I want to say thank you again, Mark, for coming and being my guest.
Process, player. The process. The process. Welcome to the process, player. I say you gotta trust her. Cue the interview. I got some shit to say. How persistence about this business really got me here today. Kicking game. It's a podcast, but this here a different lane. Hit you with some hidden gems.